I've heard Anthony Yarde, amongst others, ask the question about Tyson Fury going into this Alexander Usyk rematch. Not questioning necessarily his heart, not questioning his say, game plan by saying he's going to come in a little bit heavier and stuff like that. Not necessarily doing that, but questioning his punch resistance. And it's not just that I've heard a few. Now, Yard, in a recent interview he gave with Simon Jordan on Talksport, he mistakenly said that Tyson Fury had been dropped in all three Deontay Wilder fights. He hadn't. He was dropped in two of them, two of the three. Now, he dropped multiple times, but only twice, not in all of the fights. And he was saying that he doesn't feel Fury is the same, and that maybe he can't hold a shot quite the same. Well, I tend to suspect there's an element of what Yard is saying, and that's correct. Do I think that the Wilder trilogy took something out of Tyson Fury? Really, to me, I would say only the last fight, because that was the fight where he shifted the most punishment. Even though it was probably the most conclusive in terms, well, the second fight was very conclusive, but in terms of just the sheer big knockout, that was the trilogy fight. But yeah, Fury was down in that fight in round number 4 or 5. I think it was the fifth round. He shifted some big shots. I mean, the right hand that dropped him, I mean, that shook his whole body. It was a massive right hand. And yeah, the knockdown he suffered in the 12th round against Deontay Wilder in the first fight was a big, big, big hard shot. It was a massive shot, actually. I mean, still to this day, I don't know how he got up. So yeah, I don't disagree that it probably did take something out of him. Yeah, he's not getting any younger. But the punch resistance thing, it's a strange one altogether for me, because I would have always said, if you had asked me, do I think Tyson Fury has the greatest punch resistance, I would always say no, quite frankly. I don't think he does. Do I think he has the worst chin in the heavyweight division? No, there are a lot of guys with worse chins. Do I think out of top level fighters he has one of the worst? No, I think that he holds a better shot than Dylan White. I would say probably he's on par with Anthony Joshua. Maybe he holds a slightly better shot than Anthony Joshua. Maybe. The one thing about Tyson Fury I've always said is his powers of recovery are incredible, really. They really are. I mean, to get dropped by Deontay Wilder in the manner that he did in that first fight in the 12th round, to be able to get back up and win the remainder of the round, it's not like he was hit, with a little nothing shot. He was absolutely floored with a massive right hand. To get back up and just straight back on, that's impressive, to say the least. When he was dropped in their trilogy fight, again, his whole body shook. To be able to recover from that as quick as he did, incredible. To be dropped by Steve Cunningham, I know Steve Cunningham was not a big puncher, but that punch he threw was probably one of the biggest and best shots of Cunningham's career. He's been down several times throughout the course of his career, Tyson Fury, yes, but he's always been able to get back up, dust off the cobwebs, good to go. You look at someone like Anthony Joshua, he's been dropped several times throughout the course of his career, but whenever he's been dropped, straight away it's like, right, recover, 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 recover. He needs rounds. It's not an instant, I'm dropped, I'm back up. Some are like that in terms of Joshua, where they need a long time to recover. Some are like Fury. Bellew was a bit like Tyson Fury, Tony Bellew. Tony Bellew was dropped more so when he was fighting down at light heavyweight. He held a much better shot at cruiserweight. He really did. He wasn't draining himself at cruiserweight. At light heavyweight, he was dropped quite a bit. I remember Bob Ajasafi dropped him, amongst others. And that was actually quite a heavy knockdown. But he was able to, shake it off pretty quickly. He wasn't able to shake off Adonis Stevenson. I mean, Adonis Stevenson, that was vicious. Adonis Stevenson in that Bellew fight, that was, it was vicious. I mean, those knockouts he suffered against Stevenson and Usyk, I don't know which one was worse, because they were both pretty bad. The Stevenson one, he was stopped standing, but if the referee didn't jump in, he could have been literally decapitated. They were the only real times Bellew was down and not able to recover, but for the most part, he was a bit like Fury. He'd go down, but he'd get straight back up, and he was good to go. The reason why I worry about Fury and his punch resistance now is that going into the Usyk first fight, we did talk about the punch power of Usyk, and I suspect that Usyk probably could hurt Tyson Fury. A lot of people were saying, oh, but maybe Usyk can't. No, I was like, no, listen, Fury can be hurt. It's a question of how well will he recover. Now, in round number 9 against Alexander Usyk, Tyson Fury was hit with a big left hand. We know all about that. And he was hurt. You see on screen there. He was hurt, really hurt. That's the first time we've ever seen Tyson Fury with legs like that, where he's staggering again the ropes. He doesn't know where he is. He's struggling to hold himself aloft. That's never happened before. Throughout the course of Tyson Fury's career, against bigger punchers, more feared punchers like Deontay Wilder, he's been hit with big shots. He's gone down, but he's got up and he's been good to go. Boom, like that. That's the first time we've ever seen him hurt, and really hurt, staggering across the ring, not knowing where he is and on the verge of getting stopped. That to me is a bad sign for Tyson Fury and his punch resistance moving forward, because now, and although he did recover in round number 10, yes, but the fact of the matter was he was as hurt as we've ever seen him, and it wasn't a quick, I'm down, I'm hit with a big shot, I'm back up. He needed, if that minute's rest, let's say that minute's rest never happened. Let's say that happened with a minute to go in round number 9. The referee administered a count. What then? What then happens? Now, that was Tyson Fury in round number 9, where he'd taken plenty of left hands prior to round 9, not just the 8th round, prior to that, plenty. He'd fatigued himself because he had a little guy coming at him, as Usyk would say, I will not leave you alone. And he fatigued himself, he was trying to fight, he was letting Usyk dictate the pace, he fatigued himself. Did that play a factor in him being as fatigued? Possibly. And, people saying, well, Tyson Fury, if you're not in shape, you don't recover from a shot like that. I know he had a minute's rest, but he was in good enough shape that he was able to recover from it. You got to take that into consideration. It is a worry moving forward, though. If you're hurt like that once, it can happen again. And against Alexander Usyk in this rematch, there's the potential it happens again. If it happens again, what happens this time? Because you can imagine as the years progress in your career, and I know it's only been about 6 months, but as you age as a fighter, a lot of things change. You get slower, your legs get slower, your reflexes get slower, your punch resistance, the shots you could take 10 years ago, I don't want to say no problem, but you get what I mean. They wouldn't have the same effect. They're having big effects on you, big effects. How will Tyson Fury be punch resistance wise in this Usyk rematch? He's never had the strongest punch resistance, but he's always been able to recover. If that is gone now, or if that's diminished, he could be in a world of trouble in there. So I see where the likes of Anthony Yarde are. I don't know. He could be onto something there. I'd always say Fury never had the greatest punch resistance to begin with, but he always had great recovery powers. If they're now starting to wane, could be in trouble. Really could be. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think Anthony Yarde is right that those Wilder fights have done something to Tyson Fury physically, and maybe in the punch resistance department he can't recover the same way he used to? Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video. Smash the like button if you could. Hit subscribe, of course, as always, if you haven't already. And until next time, people, I will leave it there. Peace.